You know, today forward-facing sonar seems to be all the rage. One thing's for sure, we've been sharpshooting walleyes for a long time with traditional side imaging or 2D sonar. Today we're fishing for a whole bunch of walleyes that are up on some of these shallow main lake flats. I want to show you just a super productive way to utilize your side imaging to ultimately catch a bunch more fish. So what we're going to do, we're going to drive through one of these flats, find some fish, put baits in fish really aggressively and quick, and hopefully get some bites. Now, running the Humminbird here, I like to run my side imaging out like 90 or 100 feet, somewhere right in there. And I like to kind of split screen it like this, where I got my mapping and full screen side imaging side to side right here. So first thing I like to do on my side imaging, make sure you got your numbers at the top here, your range intervals. So you can see 23, 45, 68, 90 feet. That's gonna help me out a lot. Now the next thing I like to do, I'll come in here to the settings for my side imaging, and I'm gonna go to settings right here at the bottom. Now I wanna go down to overlays here, click that, and I wanna turn my range lines on. So now what I have is obviously kind of a grid on my screen. How far out these fish are gonna be when I see them, which is gonna be super important when we start seeing fish and it comes time to put baits on them here. Kind of this early summer, midsummer time frame, and you're dealing with fish up on these weed flats or sand flats. Great way to fish them is a slip bobber and a jumbo leech. So kind of what I do, because I'm just gonna be casting really quick once I see fish, I just kind of look at the average depth of this flat. It looks like we're gonna be in a lot of 9 feet, 10 feet, maybe 7 feet. So what I do right away, before I even start going here, is I like to set my slip bobber up at about 6 feet. So now I got my depth set to my slip bobber knot about 6 feet. So if I'm in 7 feet of water, my bait's off the bottom. If I'm in 12 feet of water, 6 feet down is gonna be fine for these fish. I just kind of got a pretty uniform depth ready to go when I see fish, and I can make those pinpointed casts real quick. So all I like to do here is basically get on here, and with my graph and my trolling motor network together, the Ultrex and the Apex back here, get on my trolling motor, and basically all I'm gonna do is just drive it right down this break line here at about 1.5 miles an hour and be ready to cast. Have the rod ready, and you're just kind of looking for fish constantly on the screen. So right here, right now, you can see when these fish hit the part of the screen right there, I know those fish are about 45 to 68 feet out the back side of the boat. So immediately I make a cast out that way, about that far. And of course it's a little bit of an approximation, but you can see on a school like this here, if we go full screen side imaging, that's a pretty good school of fish right there. It's also, I mean, there's probably what, 10, 12 of them right there. So I made that perfect cast right out there, and now I know that my bait is right in fish right now. Now it's real easy to come back to my trolling motor. All I'm gonna do is hit spot lock on here, and the wind's kind of coming like this today. So essentially what's gonna happen is my boat's gonna swing, those fish are gonna be right there, and my bait's gonna be right in them. So now we just sit here for a quick second. I know my bait's right in the fish, and kind of wait for one of them to take the bobber down. Bobber down right here. Fish on right there. Had to let that one soak a little bit. Made that pitch, we kind of saw those fish about 80 feet out the back side. I made that long pitch, and just the momentum of the trolling motor kind of carried us a little ways, but such an effective way to fish. When you make that one pitch on that side imaging, you know exactly where those fish are, and just let that bobber sit on them. We kind of got a little bit tougher walleye. This is actually feeling like a nice fish. He's down in a little bit of cabbage right now. Get out of there, buddy. Come on, come on. That was a poke, long ways out. Should be a nice fish though. See the bobber? Oh yeah, nice walleye right here. Nice walleye. We're gonna go ahead and scoop him up. Come on, bud. Angry. Angry. We're just kind of running the outside of this big weed flat here. Get our net ready to go. Come on, bud. Oh yeah, look at that. Just a gorgeous one right there. Scoopy up, scoopy up. He doesn't want to quit. Right there, look at him. Oh yeah. That is awesome right there. Such an effective way to fish. And you don't need any forward facing to fish this way, obviously. It's all just dialing in your side image and getting real good at putting a bobber right on top of those fish right when you see them. I'll give you guys a look at this one here. Nice fat walleye. Look at that right there. Gorgeous. Kind of middle of the day walleye right there. Pitching at them on side imaging. Unreal. Beautiful walleye right there. Let's get her back in the water. Do it again.